NASA is preparing for the next phase of the Artemis program with a crewed mission to leave Earth orbit for a historic lunar flyby set now for 2026. The ultimate goal is to have a manned crew land on the moon by mid-2027. Here to talk to us about this exciting space mission is former NASA astronaut and former commander of the International Space Station, Leroy Chiao. Mr. Chiao, I'm kind of a space geek, so these announcements are always very exciting to me. We appreciate you being here. Tell us about the Artemis program and that could see Americans return to the moon for the first time since 1972.
Well, sure, and U.S. has not sent humans to the moon since 1972. This mission will send humans back. They won't be landing, but they'll be going around the moon in a way like the Apollo 8 mission of 1968. This is a new rocket, a new vehicle. It is launched before about 3 years ago on the same mission, basically, but without people on board. And so this is an exciting step towards returning humans to the moon, and hopefully the U.S. will get back there first.
Technology has come a long way in the more than 5 decades. So how different will travel to the moon be than the Apollo program in terms of that technology and maybe safety or speed or maneuverability of the aircraft?
Well, sure, and you're right. Rocket technology and avionics in particular have advanced quite a bit. And so, for example, of course, people even a long time ago used to say, hey, the computer in your phone is a lot more powerful than the computers that got us to the moon or on board the spacecraft and the rockets. And that's certainly true. So we will have a much better sense of where we are as far as the spacecraft goes, the communication, the avionics and navigation, control. All of those things are much more advanced than they were during the Apollo days, but the basic rocket technology is the same. It is a new rocket, relatively new rocket, and it will get us more precisely on course on where we want to go.
Mr. Chiao, have we made it cheaper at all? I mean, I remember they canceled the Apollo program because they said it was too expensive. They canceled the shuttle program because they said it was too expensive and it wasn't efficient. Have we figured out how to make this more economical? So if we were going to build a lunar base, that we'd be able to support that?
No, unfortunately, it has not gotten less expensive. NASA, like most large organizations, as they go on, they become more bureaucratic. There is more red tape, more inefficiencies. So the program today is much, much more expensive, even adjusted for time inflation and all that, than the Apollo missions were. And for an example, this entire rocket, none of it is reusable, right? The only piece that comes back is the Orion capsule, which has the crew on board. As opposed to, say, SpaceX, Elon Musk's Starship, it's being designed to be a fully reusable system, and that's really going to be a game changer. That is going to dramatically bring launch costs down even further than recovering Falcon 9 first stages. And so their technology, by the way, will be a part of the moon landings. SpaceX has been contracted to build one of the landers. So, I'm glad to see that we're at least working in partnership like that.
It's going to be so cool. Now, in terms of Artemis 3, which is what we were just talking about, that could be in 2027, and expected to include astronauts landing on the South Pole of the moon or near there. That's never been done before. Why target that area of the lunar surface?
South Pole is interesting for us, particularly for a lunar base for everyone, because there has been evidence that there is a plentiful ice water there, because over there in the South Pole we have some rather large craters that never see the sun. And so there are large ice deposits down there, and of course water is going to be very useful, not only for drinking and things like that, but also for separating the oxygen and hydrogen. You can breathe the oxygen and someday maybe use the hydrogen for some kind of a fuel. But that place is very interesting also because you can set up a base on a point near the South Pole that always faces the Earth, and therefore you have constant communication with the Earth even during the lunar night. And so for those reasons, it's very interesting to be there at the South Pole.
How excited are you about this? Because the space station is going away by they say by 2030, but now this looks like it could be a very promising new era for spaceflight.
Absolutely. I'm very excited about this. I was 8 years old when Apollo 11 landed on the moon, and that's what got got me starting to dream about wanting to become an astronaut myself. And, even when I was selected back in 1990, that was a very exciting time because President Bush Sr., he had proposed going back to the moon and on to Mars by 2019, on foot boots on the ground by 2019. So for my astronaut class, we were excited that, one or more of us might have a chance to go back to the moon or even on to Mars, but unfortunately it hasn't happened yet. So I'm very excited to see us continue to move forward, and even if it was slower than we had liked, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
That's great, and let's see if Donald Trump can get it done. Former NASA astronaut Leroy Chiao. Thank you, sir. We're certainly going to be following this exciting mission and have you back.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.